Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back to my messy Facebook lives. Probably appropriate with what I'm going to share with you today. Principle number one from my own practice is culture of being fully embracing and fully accountable of everybody that works there, kind of that two-way street. Here's what's going to happen over the next 35 of these. About, gosh, probably close to a decade ago, I sat in a meeting where somebody shared with us the business anecdote about the Ritz Carlton and the Ritz Carlton Credo, which is a brochure that people keep in their pockets when they work there. And there's great stories about people asking people if they really follow these things, if they have the brochure on them. I've actually tried it now at three different Ritz Carlton properties when I've been there for different things. Do you have the Credo in your pocket? And sure enough, they pull them out. We were super inspired by this and this commitment within the Ritz Carlton community to this just next level excellent service and experience. Committed to this idea in their culture of ladies and gentlemen serving ladies and gentlemen, just this really neat duality of it all. So that led to us developing our own kind of credo, if you will, value statement brochure for our practice. We call it the CFT way. We're Chenal Family Therapy. In the end, I hope you develop one of these and you find your own thing to call it. You're free to steal from mine. I want to read these one by one and explain them to you. I think they're valuable, whether you're in solo practice and feel a little disoriented right now with everything that's going on in the industry, whether you're working at a group practice or leading a group practice, trying to figure out what your values are and how they align. These things have served us very well. They've been there from when we were about 20 employees to upwards of 250 now, and I think they keep proving themselves to be the touch point that I return to when my imposter syndrome kicks in, when I get disoriented and overwhelmed and a little scattered. So anyway, I'm gonna share them in messy format. Right, this is not rehearsed or scripted, but I'm gonna share them with you. I'll unpack them one by one. We'll try and do them over the next month or so, and maybe there's something in there that'll resonate. So today I want to start with value number one. This was the cornerstone, right? When my team sat me down and asked me to make a list of the values. I sat at a Mexican restaurant in Little Rock, Arkansas, and just started scribbling on a yellow pad. And this is the first thing that came out of my mouth, and it remains the cornerstone of this whole thing. So I'll read it to you as it appears on our cultural brochure, our values credo as a practice. And I want you to think about what it means to you, right? Whether you're in solo practice or group practice or whatever level of leadership you are in an agency. And here's what it is. We have to live what we sell. As we have it written, right? Our good intentions pave the road to hell. Turn different into a verb and live out the personal vulnerability and relational intimacy that we claim to be experts in. Let me read it one more time. Live what we sell. Our good intentions pave the road to hell. Turn different into a verb and live out the personal vulnerability and relational intimacy that we claim to be experts in. Here's the quick overview on the origins of this, right? I started my group practice 15 years ago when there was only kind of agency work and solo practitioners. I mean, there were some group practices out there, but group practice was still kind of new. And we were getting all these refugees from agencies, and they were just toxic, right? Not the refugees, the people coming in, the clinicians coming in, but the agencies were toxic. It was ironic that these people that had been trained in mental health had been promoted to a point of leadership, and they were acting in such unhealthy ways themselves. And yet they had this training. They've been trained to have difficult conversations. They've been trained in unconditional positive regard and creating safety for other people, and leadership seemed to bring out just the opposite. So one of the cornerstones of our practice became this idea that if we are not doing internally at our practice or at your business, whatever kind of business you're in, if we're not doing the very things that we claim to help our customers with, right? Our clients. If we're not demonstrating the emotional vulnerability, the ability to give somebody the benefit of the doubt, to ask hard questions, to look in the mirror, if we're not doing that internally as practice leadership, clinicians at our practice, people who work alongside each other, then what business do we have telling the public that they need to do that? If I reverse it, if this is what we're selling to the public and we don't do it ourselves, we're frauds, right? It's an integrity thing, right? Integrity, you've heard all kinds of definitions. Integrity is who you are when nobody's looking. My favorite definition is integrity means something holds its shape, it holds its structural soundness under pressure. That when marketing does get hard, when the industry does become oversaturated, when clinicians are leaving practices at a rapid pace to go start their own practices, whatever it is, are we acting like the solutions that we provide to our clients? Are we acting in a way that aligns with what we were trained to do, the authors we quote all day long, the principles that we hold up as part of fair and equitable treatment of other humans? Um, I don't think we're exempt from how hard that is, right? We're humans, and when our businesses go south, when we are, walking into the office and somebody took the room that we were supposed to be using for the day, whatever, like that humanness comes out. That's natural. Character is not what you did last; it's what you do next. And I think what really sets practices and businesses, which are nothing more than accumulation of individuals who make decisions to be there and act in a certain way, what sets them apart is what they do when those moments come. Do we fall back on the things that really supposedly matter to us, that we claim are life changing, that we charge hundreds of dollars an hour for people to hear about? If we don't live what we sell, we have no business selling it. This applies to you if you're a group practice owner. This applies to you if you're a clinician at a group practice. This applies if you're in solo practice and watching somebody across town struggle with their own imposter syndrome as they launch their solo practice. This applies to the lives you have at home, the way you love people, the way you seek to understand how your own family is impacted by your journey as an entrepreneur. We have to live what we sell, or we have no integrity. As a bonus, and I'm not saying this is ever the reason to do it, but as a bonus, when we do live what we sell, holy cow, can we sell it? Holy cow, can we give an informed opinion about how hard this is, but how worth it is? The upside of living what you sell is it trains you in the very things that you learned about that sound really good when you're listening to a podcast. But it does the one thing that those things don't do, which is it puts you through the paces of having to actually live and experience and struggle with and shoot holes in and, deal with the what ifs of those really cool notions like vulnerability and intimacy and care and self-care and all those things. So I'll stop rambling, but I want to leave you with this today. I don't care where you exist in the industry, what your role is. You could be a front desk person right now at a solo practice. You could be a CEO of a huge group practice, or anything in between. You could be a grad student. Make no mistake, though, if you don't figure out first and foremost how to live what you sell, you're not going to be very successful in this industry. Your imposter syndrome will be valid. You will struggle. Live what you sell, and you will find success in this industry amidst the roller coaster ride that it is. Live what you sell, and you'll find other vulnerable people want to be part of that, even if it's just as a friend or part of the practice you're building. Live what you sell, and you create safety for the world, and you destroy aloneness for yourself, because the world will beat a path to that doorstep, right? So hope that's helpful. Check back in over the next 34 days. We'll unpack some more of these. If I stuck my foot in my mouth anywhere there, if there's anything that was valuable, if there's anything you want to add, please put it in the comments. Do me a favor. It would mean the world if you follow me on YouTube. If you like this stuff, go to semiprivatepractice.com. Find us on Facebook, Semi Private Practice, or the Compliance for Therapist groups. Come hang out, pull up a chair, drink some coffee, talk about the job, talk about life. We'd love to have you. We'll see you tomorrow.